Oh, okay. Hello, guys. I am so excited to be with you today. I have missed doing live for a very long time, and today I am using a software that I've never used before. So I think there's a bit of a delay, but it's okay. So when you see me looking to this direction, it's because I'm looking at my my laptop, right? So today I want us to talk about the lessons that I've learned recently. So the first one is I saw that there was a marathon going on in Cape Town. I think it's called the Two Oceans. And there's this lady, and I thought it was a guy at first, but there's this lady who was number three, right? So as she was close to the finish line, she couldn't run anymore, and then she started walking, and then from there she couldn't walk, she crawled until the finish line. And that has reminded me of something that is so powerful, that in life, if you cannot fly, you need to run. If you cannot run, you need to walk. If you can't walk, you need to crawl. If you can't crawl, you need to, if you can't crawl, just try your best, keep going, right? And I think the most important thing that I really loved in that video is the people on the sidelines that were cheering up on the people who were running. Those are strangers. I feel like sometimes we are so scared of people hating on us, not knowing that there's so many people on the sidelines who are cheering us, who are cheering us on, right? Who are so proud of us for the courage that we took, to do something that was scary for us. Even me, as I was watching that video, I found myself holding on to my seat and shouting, keep going, you're almost there, keep going. And I don't know that person, I have never met that person, I will never meet that person, but I am so proud of her for the fact that they had courage to go and run such a big mile. So just know in life that there are people that you don't know, that you've never met, that you will never meet, that love what you're doing, or that are so encouraged by the thing that you're doing that is scary, right? And then the second thing that I want to share today is about limiting beliefs. This life is really weird. But the second thing that I want to do, I want to share about the second thing that I want to share about today is the limiting beliefs, right? I think all of us have the limiting beliefs, and I feel like doing affirmations about a limiting belief doesn't really help, because you're not digging deep to why do you have this limiting belief and trying to uproot it from wherever that it comes from. So what I've been doing when it comes to my limiting beliefs, if I notice that I have a limiting belief about something, I ask myself, okay, what is this limiting belief that I have? Let's make an example and say that you have a limiting belief that there's a role that has been posted, and you feel like you're not qualified for this role, right? So what you do is you ask yourself, is it 100% true that you cannot get this job? So ask yourself about your limiting belief. Is this limiting belief 100% true? Are you sure about it? Right? And then you ask yourself, okay, if I believe that this limiting belief is true, how do I behave and how do I act and how do I think about this to prove my theory that this is true? For an example, if you feel like you do not qualify for this job, you are not going to apply. You are not going to fix your CV. You're not going to put yourself out there because you believe that you are not good enough to get that job anyway. So ask yourself about your limiting belief. What are the things that you do because you believe this limiting belief, right? And then this one is the difficult one. You ask yourself, okay, um, what is this limiting belief protecting me from? Because the reality is rejection is really painful. So maybe you're not applying for that role because you don't want to be rejected. Maybe you are not going out for that date, or you're not opening up to your friends because you know that when friendships and relationships end, that really hurts. So what is this limiting belief protecting you from? Is it protecting you from pain or rejection? Right? And you need to realize that if you want to experience love, you need to allow yourself to be vulnerable. If you want to experience rain, you need to allow yourself to experience the discomfort of staying inside the house and maybe dealing with the mud. Know that every blessing has something that you might not like about that blessing. So ask yourself, is it really worth it to run away from love just because you don't want to be vulnerable and get hurt? Right? Which brings me to point number 3 is, I feel like most of us, sometimes we love this idea or this delusion of thinking that things and people are meant to be with us forever. And when I first heard this, it was stinging for me a bit, because I've always believed that people are meant to be with me forever. But the reality is, the only constant in your life that will be with you from birth to death is God. So let go of this need to cling to people, this need to want to hold on to things that no longer serve you. And I think for most of us, we stay in toxic relationships sometimes because we don't want to start over, because we feel like this was meant to be forever. But the reality is, nothing is meant forever. So when you know that nothing is meant to be with you forever, you start to appreciate the people that you have. You start to love the people that are in your life. You start to appreciate each and every conversation. You start to be more present, because you know that these people are with me in this moment, and I don't know if I'll be able to talk to them tomorrow, because nothing is guaranteed, right? Our tomorrow is not guaranteed. So take the time to appreciate each and everything that you have. Show love to the people that you are with. Laugh louder. Live your life the way you want. Take chances. Love yourself more. Forgive quickly. And know that nothing in life is guaranteed. Nothing lasts forever. And let go of what needs to be released. Okay? Okay, and then another thing that I wanted to share is the fact that sometimes we feel like we are depressed because we feel like we are stagnant. So it's very important in life that you do things that you feel like are growing you. If you have a goal, write it down and then ask yourself on a daily, what can I do today that proves that I'm really serious about my goal? What action can I take today to work towards my goal? And know that every step counts, and know that every time you take a small action, it is compounding to something that is bigger, right? So do something that you feel like is going to grow you, or something that will make you feel like you have accomplished something in life, right? And then another thing that I wanted to share with you today is the fact that God is not some grumpy old man up there in the sky judging us, right? You need to realize that you can go to God whenever you want. If you want to go to God after you've tried all your other options and you feel like they're no longer working for you, it is okay. If you want to go to God as the first resort, it is okay. God is not a human being. God is not a person who is grumpy, who is up there looking at you and saying, you have been bad, you have done something that I don't like, therefore I'm not going to bless you. I think the minute you realize that God is on your side and God is not a grumpy old man who is keeping score on how you behave, and the minute you realize that just because you are a good person does not mean that bad things are not going to happen to you. What is important is you stop judging God. For me, I think one thing that I really struggled with was to let go of the fact that God took my father away while I was still young. It felt really cruel. But the minute you understand that everything that happens in life is God's plan, whether it is good or bad, the rain is from God, the hurricane is also from God, everything comes from God. And it is okay for you to try and improve things that you feel like are not really good on earth, but stop blaming God. You need to learn to be still and know that God is God. You need to trust the process and know that it is okay for things to coexist, right? It's okay for God to bless us with the rain, but also we must not judge God just because there are hurricanes or there are wars out there. What is important is you do your part. What is important is you align yourself with God and you try to connect as much as you can. And for me, what I've noticed is when I am connected to God, I am more productive. When I'm connected to God, I am more aware and I have peace. I don't easily get triggered, and I love my life more when I'm connected to God. So try by all means to connect to God and know that there's a verse in the Bible. I just don't know where it is. It's my favorite, but it says that we are the branches and God is like our trunk. And that is how I see my life. I know that if I'm not connected to my trunk, which is my God, as a branch, there's nothing I can do. So if you cut the branch off of the tree, it is going to die. There's nothing that can grow from there. So try by all means to connect to your creator and know that God is not keeping score on how good or how bad you are. Right? What else did I want to share? Hi, thank you so much. Doing a live like this is different because I'm used to looking at my chats from here. Now I have to look this side. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to share about the lessons that I've learned recently, and I want to go back to being consistent with my lives. I was trying this software for the first time, and I think it's I think it's good. I think it's good. But guys, let me love and leave you, and I will come back next week, Saturday or Sunday. Have a day as beautiful as you are. I love you so much. Thank you for your energy and your time and allowing me to be in your screen, whether you're watching me on a phone or TV or laptop. I love you. Bye.